If you're an athlete, you know the greatest motivator of all is the fear of letting your teammates down. After all, a team is only as good as its weakest link. So you owe it to those wearing the same jersey as you to be your best every time you step on the field. That's why there's no vape in team. When you vape, you can expose your lungs to toxic chemicals that can damage your lungs. If you're a step behind, the team's a step behind. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the JRPG report. My name is not Dalton. I am Mikhailov, and with me is also not Dalton.
Hello, not Dalton. It's me again. Also not Dalton.
How's it going, Nefarious?
Not too bad, Mikhailov. Not too bad. We are filling in a pair of big shoes today. The two of us yet again. Dalton shall return, but until then, you're going to have to deal with us. We hope to make it a pleasant experience.
Yeah, Dalton's got some family things he's got to take care of right now, so we agreed to fill in for this week, and we're going to give you a kind of a short episode. We've got a couple of, big stories that we're going to talk about. We're going to look at some of the stuff coming up for Dawntrail because that is releasing very soon. And then we're going to talk about some of the RPGs coming out in 2024. So, you want to start us off, Nefarious?
I would be delighted to. Fellow Final Fantasy fans, you got to be excited. The month of June is just a precious, precious gift. So, coming down the pike, we have some major changes. And if you were part of the Development Build Overlook stream that happened but a few days ago, you probably noticed some major changes. Now, I'm just going to put this out there now because developers said it, so therefore I'm going to as well. All of this is subject to change. I know that is at this point, 2 weeks left, and we got Dawntrail, and this is coming from a guy still going through Endwalker. This is all still subject to change, and we're not just talking potencies, but we're talking abilities as well. Things can be changed and removed, but as it looks right now, this is looking like the Omega Protocol right here. This is it. So we're looking at something real, but be remiss for me. You guys are in luck because Mikhailov here specializes in tanking, as it happens, and I happen to be a healer because I don't like the idea of all the attention on me, and I'm fragile. So, Mikhailov, would you like to go ahead and let our beautiful, hyper-intelligent audience know what's going on with our tanks when Dawntrail hits?
Well, I can't say that I am an expert at tanking. I've only taken.
You got this. There it is. Loud as there.
Okay.
Delicious. I love it.
I've only taken up Warrior recently, I want to say within the last couple of months, and I just got my Warrior to 90 a few days ago. But in doing so, I did run some dungeons, and I did kind of get my feet wet with learning how to tank, and I'm finding out that I really, really, really enjoy it better than DPS, and I can't explain why. I just adore it. And there's a couple of abilities that are really essential to all tanks, and that would be Melee Mastery and Rampart, and those are traits that you get very early on. You get another one called Reprisal. And so what Rampart does is that for a certain amount of time, it reduces the amount of damage that you take. And what Reprisal does is it reduces the amount of damage the enemies give. And you're typically going to use those abilities when you're about to take in a big hit. Rampart is typically really good for trash mobs, and Reprisal is good for bosses, at least in my experience, to deal with tank busters. And so in Dawntrail, at level 94, all tanks are getting enhanced Rampart. And what this does is it's going to not just reduce the damage that you're taking, but it's going to increase HP recovery via healing actions on yourself by 15%. So for Warrior, for example, Warrior has a self-heal ability. So if you ended up in a situation where a trash mob was, excuse me, if you ended up in a situation where a trash mob was just taking a lot of damage out of you, more than your healer can handle, then you can pop an enhanced rampart, and then you can pop that healing ability, and you're getting 15% more healing. So it's going to help you last just a little bit longer. You're going to get Melee Mastery 2, which is going to give potency upgrades to various weapon skills by class. Typically, that's going to be your 1, 2, 3 combos, and it's going to increase those and make them more powerful, which makes sense considering by level 96, you're going to be tackling some pretty challenging dungeons. And then at level 98, you get an enhanced reprisal, which is going to extend the duration to 15 seconds. So that's going to give you more time where you're going to be forcing the enemies to do less damage. And so that's kind of tanks in a nutshell. Those are the big things that are happening to all tanks. And then every single tank is getting new abilities and some adjustments and changes to all of their abilities. And I'm not going to single out one specific class from there. But tanks are getting some cool stuff. What about healers?
So healers, they got something we've needed for a while now. If you've ever healed and had your tank go down, which has never happened to me with Mikhailov, whose
I've
tanking
had other
skills
healers that I cannot say that.
Yes, but not me, because the two of us are old pros. At level 94, we're getting enhanced Swiftcast. Swiftcasting and rezzing is part of the game that, as a healer, you gotta do at least once a raid. It is being reduced from 60 seconds to 40 seconds, which is such a blessing. My tanks out there that are listening to this, fear not about going down and dying, because we got your back this time. Also at 94, potency upgrades to various spells, and that is vague on purpose. The way it reads and the way it's looking, I'm thinking our white mages, Glare, I think you're going to be doing a little bit more damage. I'm thinking that Ruin's going to be hitting just a little bit harder for our fellow scholars out there. A scholar main that I am, I'm really looking forward to something along those lines. The big deal.
You love the Ruin spell.
Oh, I could do it for days, and I'm
You
told
have
to.
no choice.
Well, I do. I could sit still and just throw a shield and then go do my laundry, which may have happened.
That is true.
The big deal, though, is the massive overhaul with the Astrologian. No longer RNG is going out the window, and you're going to be able to choose the cards you want to play. There is one button to rule them all when it comes to Astral and Umbral draw. This is enormous. This whole class is being ripped apart and put back together like a Lego set, and you're going to like it. I watched a few videos of the gameplay of the Astrologian's new mechanics. Certain stuff is going to be removed. The whole picking cards and then Astrodining is gone. In favor of that, you are just going to have Helios Conjunction getting upgraded from Aspect to Helios, and something called Sun Sign at level 100, which this class I think is going to be, they put some love into it. So I'm genuinely looking forward to healing with in 2 weeks with Dawntrail.
So are you going to go back and level up your last Astrologian in preparation?
Oh yeah. As we speak, my Astrologian, he's the lowest of my healers, not counting Sage, which I actually still have to do. But he gets boring. A lot of people love the button bloat, the pressing lots of buttons. I don't know. I can't wait to see what the class does redone, because I'm a little bored with picking a card and tossing a card in the tank every chance I get. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to bring it back up.
Are you going to wait till Dawntrail, or are you going to
I'm waiting till
prep it in
Dawntrail.
advance?
I'm waiting till Dawntrail. I still have to give some love to my scholar.
That's true. You still have to finish Endwalker. I finished Endwalker.
Yeah.
I still have things to do in that game, though. I still have the Alliance raids to do and a couple of other things, but I also... And maybe answer this for me, Nefarious, before we move on. Do I need to get all my classes that I've trained up to 83? Do I need to get them to 90?
No, just the ones you love. You strike me as you're the guy that needs to make everything the highest number, the even way. And you're an efficient guy. Like, if anyone knows Mikhailov in real life, then you will know he is a man that everything has to be efficient, even things that can't be efficient. He will find a way to make these things work and be the best they can be, even the people around him. But no, like if you're going to sit there and make your machinist level 90, I mean, you're going to, that's like playing all the Mega Mans all at once. It might be fun at first, and it's a fun idea, but you're going to pay for it mentally.
Because I already switched to Monk after getting my Warrior, Reaper, and Dragoon to 90.
Ugh.
And I got to tell you, I'm not feeling it.
No.
I kind of want to just leave those 3 at 90 and, I don't know, ditch the rest.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do if you want a little surprise on your end.
Sure.
As soon as Dawntrail starts, the class I want to hop into, Dark Knight.
They'll do it, man.
They did a pretty decent overhaul of it. It's looking pretty good.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, like, the one thing I have to say, although, wait, you know what, though?
Yeah,
Level 92 Shadowed Visual, you finally get a 1200 potency heal after dropping below 50 HP. And it reduces the damage you take by 40%. Okay, you know what? Maybe.
Think about it.
Maybe I will level my Dark Knight.
The future is bright.
Maybe I will level my Dark Knight. I got up to 60 and I'm not feeling it. But mostly because as a warrior, I'm used to having a couple of emergency heals, or I'm used to having buffs that turn my weapon skills into automatic heals. Like Bloodwetting right now is my favorite warrior skill because I can pop that, jump into a mob, and just do a bunch of weapon skills. And as long as Bloodwetting is active, I'm getting HP for that. I'm getting healed. So the healer doesn't have much to do. They keep me, just keep me topped off. And then after 60 seconds, I just pop it again. And I do the same thing.
I'm telling you, June's going to be a good month.
This comes out on July 2nd. So July is going to be a good month.
Oh, even better.
So let us know in whatever podcasting platform you listen to. Let us know what you're looking forward to with Dawntrail and what changes you are excited for. But speaking of excited, let's talk about some RPGs coming out in 2024 that we are excited about. And Nefarious, why don't you start us off?
So I'm going to go ahead right for the jugular. Let's talk about the big deal that everyone's been talking about. June 21st, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is coming out. Those that have played Elden Ring have been anticipating this for a long time. We saw that trailer drop. You got together. You saw it happen, and it was just mind-blowing. Coming out on this, we have already some confirmed rumors and things coming out. Renala's sister, Relena, is coming out. Miyazaki has yet again done it again and made this happen for us. But not just that, 8 new weapon classes are coming out. I'm not going to list them all, but to give you some excitement, these can include perfume bottles, beast claws, and my personal favorite, please imagine this, open your imaginations and let this world become real, martial arts hand wraps. If I can't choke slam a dragon, I might be slightly disappointed. But this is going to be coming out real soon. It's already been confirmed it's going to be a whole new DLC realm. You can travel between the areas, which is something that we were slightly worried about at the beginning. There's new moon magic coming our way as well. And this is going to be hitting the scene actually shortly. What is it, Mikhailov? Is that going to be 1 or 2 weeks before or after Dawntrail?
What's the date?
June 21st.
Dawntrail comes out July 2nd. It's going to be before Dawntrail.
So this lines up perfectly to everyone hearing. You get to go ahead and have Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree come out, and you get yourself some cool 2 weeks to sit there and enjoy yourself a little Elden Ring, going down memory trail and dying repeatedly over again to the horrors that await us. And when you are at your peak of frustration, my friends, you hop yourself over to Dawntrail and you get that chill. But this has been highly anticipated. If you want, heading out to the subreddit for Elden Ring, the news that's coming out of it is nothing short of fantastic, including, but not limited to, 10 major story bosses. 10 major story bosses. So this is going to be massive. It is basically turned into Elden Ring 2. And it's more Elden Ring 2 than Elden Ring DLC. So it's something to really look forward to. Mikhailov, What else do our friends have to look forward to?
On June 14th, which is in 5 days, we get on PS4, Switch, and PC the original Monster Hunter Stories. Now, let me tell you why I'm excited for this. Monster Hunter Stories originally came out on the 3DS. It looked a little rough on the 3DS, but it was extremely fun. And for those of you who don't know, Monster Hunter Stories is basically Pokemon, but you get to raise the Monster Hunter monsters and you get to ride them and you get to go through turn-based battles with them. And it is an extremely, extremely fun JRPG. And the original, like I said before, was only available on 3DS. Then they came out with a mobile port for iOS and Android. Looks gorgeous. Touchscreen only controls. Could not get into it on my phone. Now, we're going to get to play the original on June 14th on the Switch, on PC, on PS4, and recursively through to PS5 as well. We're going to have one screen. We're going to have updated HD graphics. So the game is going to look gorgeous. It's going to play with controls. And if you are the least bit a fan of Monster Hunter and the least bit a fan of Pokemon, you owe it to yourself to get this game and play it. Also, if you liked it, also on June 14th, Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin is coming out for PS4. This game is already available on Steam and Switch. So, you like Monster Hunter Stories? You pick up Monster Hunter Stories 2, just as beautiful. So, Nefarious, you got another one for us?
I got a really good one, actually, Mikhailov, and this one has been anticipated for a while. August 20th, so woe is us. We have to wait 2 whole months for this one to come out, but don't worry, it's right near my birthday, so everyone, keep this in mind. August 20th this year, Black Myth Wukong finally hits the shelves. We can finally play this game. There has been a pretty good divide on this one. We have certain people, such as myself, who are saying they're taking one look at this and they're getting Sekiro vibes. And they're thinking to themselves, this must be a Souls-like game. However, there is also an argument to be made that it's kind of like God of War. I'll be honest with you, this sounds like a good problem to have. If a game's like God of War, I'm going to be pretty happy about it. If it's like Sekiro, well, I platinumed that game, and a lot of people claim they have gray hairs thanks to it. But my hair is already kind of gray, so I don't care. I loved that game. The precision fighting in it is something that's being brought back. It's going to be on pretty much all platforms, including the Xbox Series S and your PS5. The story about it, however, if anyone is familiar with Wukong, it comes from the great 4 classic Chinese novels, Journey into the West. And these things were, if you're familiar with this book series, is a classic, but is enormous. We're talking 100 chapters. How they're going to distill this down into a game, I'm really not sure. My theory going forward, that if this game does well, I think we'll probably be getting some DLCs coming our way. But the combat we're looking at right now from every trailer, again, the divide is real. Is it God of War? Is it Souls-like? I think we're going to be finding a nice little home in between, because there's clearly dodge mechanics, which we're looking at our Souls games like. But there's some hacky slashy combos that come out of nowhere with that little staff of his, which really brings home that God of War feel. The environments are rich. They are incredibly telling. I think this is going to be an incredible one. And we've been looking at the development of this game and following it for quite some time now. So, yet again, the summer of 24, it's good to be a gamer, isn't it, Mikhailov?
Also, I would argue that the fall of 2024 is going to be a good time to be a gamer, because on October 10th, we are getting for the Nintendo Switch Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. And this game was last revealed, according to RPG Site, on September 23rd, and James Galizio, who wrote the article, he played it during Tokyo Game Show. And he said that it plays very closely to the original Fantasy Life. Fantasy Life is another one of those games that only saw life on the 3DS, and it hasn't left the 3DS. And obviously, the only way to get it is to try to find a physical copy for the 3DS, which I have. So this is the first time we are getting a Fantasy Life game since the 3DS. And this game has quite the following. And basically what it is you're a little small kid, and you are given the option to take whatever life you want, which means you can become something like a warrior or a paladin, or you could be a woodcutter or a miner, or you could be a chef, and you could bounce back and forth between all those lives, and they all have their own quest line and all that. Think Final Fantasy XIV. Why is that game successful? It does something very similar. So you're going to have the ability to basically play the game however you want and go through the story however you want. And the hook for this one is that you got a story mode that spans 2 different periods of time, and there's 1,000 years in between those. But they kept the core gameplay the same. In matter of fact, this article I'm looking at says that the game almost feels like an HD remaster of the original rather than a proper sequel. But I think I'm okay with that, because Fantasy Life didn't really hit enough people, in my opinion, on the 3DS. And I think this one has the opportunity to hit so many more. I just hate that we have to wait all the way till October to play it, because I'm actually very much looking forward to this game. And I would almost call this like one of those cozy games where you could just, do some cool stuff, or you could go out and adventure, or you can build and put furniture down and stuff like that. And it's, me, I like my Animal Crossings. I like my cozy games every now and again. And this is going to be one of those. And I'm very excited to give this one a shot.
You do love your stay at home and make your home games.
I do love those.
Yes, you do.
It gives me more control. It makes me feel like I have more control over my life than in real life.
The illusion of control. It's what we're all after, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, with that, Nefarious, is there anything else you'd like to talk about coming into 2024 or coming into the second half of 2024?
For JRPGs, I'm just looking forward to those 2 I mentioned. I think Wukon's going to be incredible, and I'll call it now. I think that Shadow of the Erdtree, I don't know if a DLC can count as Game of the Year, but it's going to come close. I'll tell you right now. You heard it here. I wish it would. And
do you think before 2025 we'll both finish Rebirth?
Oh, God, no.
I was going to say.
It's funny. I just got a puppy, and she loves watching TV. And I was playing Rebirth today on a whim. And she was on my lap and just focused on how terrible I am at the fighting and combat mechanics in this game. She's watching me just get my rear end handed to me over and over. And this dog is just focused on it. So really, at least it makes my dog sleepy.
What do you think it is about the mechanics of that game?
I think I'm just so used to. I'm spoiled by the remake, Final Fantasy 1 or 7 remake, the first one. Those were so smooth. Oh my god!
You think it's different?
I feel like it is, unless I'm just old and I forgot how to play.
You're just getting old.
Yeah, I'm there. I don't know. I'm also spoiled.
Keep in mind, when we left Remake, we were a powerhouse, and they kind of dumbed us down to being weaklings again.
I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to look back or take my meds. I feel like the combat in the first one was way smoother and way more intuitive. I'm just getting I'm getting kicked across the floor on this one, man. Yeah, at least my dog took a nice nap, though. She's awesome.
We'll have to debrief and figure it out. I think during the summer I'm going to try and play that game more, which is going to be hard because Dawntrail. But
what you need to do is come over and have a burger and meet my dog. That's what you need to do.
I do want to meet your dog.
She's precious.
And I do want to have a burger. I like both. I like both of those things.
Maybe we'll cook the dog.
Can you grill me?
I can grill you.
Can you grill me? Just grill me.
One of these days, we're gonna have to put that video up. Actually, no. You'd probably get kicked out.
Let's not. No, let's not. And so with that, I know it's just kind of a short and sweet episode. We wanted to give you guys something to look forward to, coming into the next couple of weeks. And next episode, Dalton and I should be back. Dalton will be back at the helm, and we'll get some more JRPG news out your way. But in the meantime, should we get through with the house cleaning?
Let's go ahead and see who made this happen. Go ahead.
All right. If you would like to join us over on Facebook, that is facebook.com/JRPG Report. We are also on Twitter/X @JRPG Report. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, that would be patreon.com/JRPG Report. I don't know the monetary values off the top of my head, but I do know these wonderful, wonderful people who do support us on Patreon: Jake W., Jordan K., Kularian, MasterLoot, Kana, and Dustin Eckert. Thank you so much for your support. I'm sure Dalton very much appreciates the support you give this channel, as well as I do. And you know what, Nefarious? Why don't you go ahead and give Kularian a compliment, knowing just his name?
Kulari. Well, let me tell you something about Kulari. That's a person who knows exactly what they want out of life. Kulari, I have seen you through the ether, and man, let me tell you something. First of all, you're gorgeous. You turn heads wherever you go. And if there's anyone out there that can make a burger, sure, I could, but you can make anything. You could feed an army. These people will feel stronger just knowing they had something you made. Kulari, thank God you're around, man. Your beautiful face, that's the reason half this world wakes up, man.
Look at that. And maybe someday Nefarious will pronounce your name correctly, too.
Nah, let's not go crazy.
Shout out to the Steam Machine podcast. I'm actually going to be on that at the end of the month with Dalton, Nate, and Willie. We're going to be talking about a JRPG called Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. I actually just picked up the Switch copy today so that I can take it on vacation with me. And shout out to our podcast, We Played a Game, where Nefarious Ways and myself talk about old video games and what we love about them.
Love or hate about them. If you're interested, please join us. This week, we're going to be talking about not just one life, but half of a life.
In case you didn't understand the terrible, terrible humor there, that just means we're playing Half-Life.
Yeah, we're playing Half-Life.
Which is not a JRPG, but you know what? It's an old game, and we're going to say words about it.
Mm-hmm. Many, many.
Anything else you want to plug, my good sir?
I got nothing left in me.
You got a pillow waiting.
I do have a pillow waiting.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, for Nefarious Ways, for Dalton, for myself, Team Retrogue, do us all. Why did you cut me off? I was just about to talk.
Anticipation was killing me.
Seriously, dude, that's what Truncate Silence is for. What is wrong with you, man?
I have a list.
That list is way too long.
It's in the car. I'll go get it later.
Yeah, exactly. So do us all a big, big favor. Get back out there and level up.